So Rollo was the first Viking that successfully conquered north of France. Who is William? Who is he? Yes, William. Sorry. Then who is William? I mean, maybe the title or nicknames, who knows? Put your hands up if you want to answer, because we have present, expensive. Okay, not lend it to my groupmate, okay? My teammate, okay? Correct. Okay, who else? More than William the Conqueror.
William of Normandy.
Normandy is correct, but William before Normandy, there's one word.
Oh.
No? Okay, sorry, I don't want to waste time. Let's move on. Okay, William the Bastard. Okay. Why does he was called William the Bastard? Because he was a child out of wedlock, illegitimate child of Robert I. Next. Okay, Normandy. The Duke of Normandy is the correct answer, which is he got it from his father, Robert I. That also the Duke of Normandy. Second cousin of Edward the Confessor. I found it in a book. You can find it too in the book. His History of the English Language. So William the Conqueror and King of Anglo-Saxon. So let's move on to Battle of Hastings. All of this began when Edward the Confessor died childless. So this caused English throne to have no successor. But Harold Godwinson was principal advisor of Edward the Confessor, and also brother-in-law. So he was like, oh my God, the king died. I am so sad. My brother died, and I want to be a king. Like that. So the day after Edward the Confessor died, which is 6th January 1066, he was elected king. William hoped to obtain the crown which he believed himself entitled. Why? Because Edward the Confessor had assured him that you guys understand, right? So that William could be the successor after him. So like, but suddenly he died, and Harry Godwinson was elected. So William felt betrayed and angry. Like the throne should be mine. Why Harry Godwinson become a king? I should kill him. Like that. So he prepared his soldiers and ready to invade England, because he believed by that way he could take over the throne. So William and his soldiers landed at Pevensey in September 1066. At the same time, before that, William's departure was delayed because of the harvest season and unexpected wind. While William was wait for the wind, that's it. Harold was occupied in north. Meeting an invention by the King of Norway, Harald Hardrada. My teammate had mentioned it earlier. Harald Hardrada, the King of Norway. So you know they better pang and Harold win. But most of his soldiers were very injured and some of them died. So William take this opportunity. So Harold had no choice but to order his soldiers to confront with William. William invaded. So William attacked Harold not far from Hastings. No, pang. Then William won. So William won. Of course, after he won, he crowned as King of England in Christmas Day, December 1066. That is why we call him William the Conqueror. So the Norman settlement. After the Normans successfully conquered all of Anglo-Saxon, the most important of the conquest was the introduction of a new nobility. During the battle, most of English higher class was dead. So William's Norman followers were everywhere in the Anglo-Saxons. So all English nobility was practically wiped out. Understand? So after the conquest, most of the important positions and the great estates were held by Normans. Okay, the governing class in both church and estate was almost exclusively made up from Normans. Get it? Okay, next. Of course, if they was, Of course, if French ruled the government, members of the new ruling class were sufficiently predominant to use their own language, which is French. So for 200 years after the Norman conquest, French remained the language of ordinary intercourse among the upper class in England. Those who spoke English and those who spoke French learned each other language through intermarriage. But in this case, Norman's origin that speak French doesn't making any effort to learn English. Like, I don't want to learn English, I am French. So, okay, let's say I am French and you guys are English. When I mix up with you guys, I will naturally learn or naturally get to know one or two words, isn't it? So that goes to French, Norman origin. So they naturally learn the English language, even though they doesn't want. But to those who spoke English at that time, in order to have a conversation and association with the ruling class, they have found it their advantage to learn the new language. So one or not, by hook or by crook, they have to learn it. So the distinction between them was not ethnic, but largely social. I mean, the language mix. That will be explained by my teammate, Farah Shazani. So I would like to call my teammate to continue the topic. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Farah Shamira, Nur Farah Shazani.
So I'm going to continue the topic with the effects of the Norman conquest towards the English language. So, do you guys know what is Anglo-Norman language? No, okay. So it is actually the variety of Norman French that was used in England after the Norman conquest. So the Anglo-Norman period is from 1066 until 1350 until the 13th century, and then it remained the language of the English nobility for several centuries. It is actually a Northern Old Norse language and an influenced dialect of Old French language, and the Anglo-Norman language, as known as the French language, is used as the language of the ruling classes in England, as Natasha had already explained to you guys. And the Anglo-Norman language was the language that has been replacing the Old English language. Next. Okay, so the Anglo-Norman language is used in Great Britain and Ireland. It is used by the royalty, aristocrats, kings and queens, high-powered officials. And during this time, thousands of French words entered the English language, which I will be explaining to you guys later. The verbal language of the court. This is also the language of the court, administration, culture, law, court, schools, and universities. So everyone in England at the moment, for 300 years, they have been using the same language, the French language, which is, at the moment, it was called the Anglo-Norman language. So it is from the Indo-European language family, besides Italic, Romance, Western Gallo-Romance, all and Norman. Then there is another language, but it's actually the same language. It's from the French language itself. It's the Norman language. It's from Normandy. Normandy is in North France. It is one of our languages, also called as Roman French, and it is the same as the administrative languages Anglo-Norman and Law French. These languages are actually French, which we call this in nowadays French language, and these languages, Norman language, Anglo-Norman, Anglo-Norman French language, are used in England. And people in the days they can mutually understandable. The language is mutually understandable by the society because it is actually caused by the adaptation to French orthography. French orthography means spelling system of a language. So the languages are actually using the same system of a language, the same spelling and same words by the French language itself. So it is native to Normandy, which is north of France, Jersey, Guernsey, Sark, England. Jersey, Guernsey, Sark is the nearby places, nearby regions, nearby Normandy. It is previously used in Alderney, Herm, England, Ireland, and so on. It is in the Indo-European family, and the early form is Old Norman. So the French Anglo-Norman influence into English language. As Natasha has already explained to you guys, it is used by the upper class, means by the aristocrats and royalty, used for over 300 years. And by this time, approximately 10,000 words have been assimilated to English language. So the French words during those times were still in use in today's English language. So these are the examples of French words that I've been searching. So they have been using these French words that have been replaced in English. So these are the words that we are still using until now. Adjectives are solemn, divine, reverent, art and literature, art, color, language for authority, control, authority, obedience, crown, nobility, crown, castle, prince, count. So these words are still being used until now, right? So these are the other examples of color expressing such fundamental religious or theological concepts, fashion and high living. And next, government, administration, indications of rank or class, law, courts, verbs. So these are the words that we actually use until now. So it is actually understandable. These are most of the French words in English words now. So monasteries, religious houses, names of objects associated with the service, stones, war, and combat. So after the 13th century, after the French language, the usage of the French language, so English has been the language of masses, means the official language of England after the 13th century. So the written English hardly appeared until 13th century. So after 13th century, the English people in England use English again, means they don't really use French. So the English as the language of literature, law, administrations, and it has been replaced. Before this, they used French language, right? And then they use English. They have been replaced as the language of the official documents. But other records, they still be using Latin language, as Fatina has already mentioned. So these are the references, and that's all for me, because it's actually understandable, right? French words are still used by now. So that's all for me, thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. Are you guys with me? Yes. Or are you still in bed? What else? Okay. So my name is Nur Alamai Sarah binti Makasih, matric number 051286. Today I will be talking about the 100 Years' War. This war actually lasted for 116 years. And it is a war of conflicts between kings and kingdoms of France and England. Next. Okay, the war originates from two factors. The first one is the status of Duchy of Guyenne, or known as Aquitaine, which remained a fief of the French crown, though it belonged to the kings of England. This means that the Duchy of Guyenne it is in France, but the England is supposed to be having control over it, but the French still controls it. So the English people want independent possession. And the second factor is that as the closest relative of the last direct Capetian king are the kings of France, Charles IV, who had died in 1328, the kings of England from 1337 claimed the crown of France. Next. So this 100 Years' War starts from the Battle of Catsan by insulting letters between King Edward III and King Philip IV of France. So it's kind of childish actually, but well, since they have been enemies for a long time, and the war starts from this insulting of letters. Next. Next, in the naval battle of Sluis, 1340. Sluis, I don't know. Edward III claimed the title of King of England and France, and they won the battle at sea by Sluis. Next. In the Battle of Crecy, 1341, the English forces won by land at Crecy, and Charles the Blanc, under King Edward III, fought Jean de Montfort of King Philip IV of France. They fought through a few battles, such as the Battle of Barbaroche, Siege of Calais, and a few others. Next. Next, the Black Death in 1346. The Black Death is a bubonic plague. You know, it was an illness when someone is covered by blood pus and what do we call nana and all that. It was a devastating bubonic plague that hits Europe until 1439 and wipes off over a third of Europe continent population. And the war continues in the Battle of La Roche-Derrien. Next. In 1350 until 1356, King Philip IV passed away, John II took over the throne. And 1356, England won the Battle of Poitiers. And in the Treaty of Calais, King John II of France was forced to accept the Treaty of Calais in order to save his title, because at this time England has risen to be more and more powerful, and they get complete independence was granted to the Duchy of Guyenne. So the England has got power over Duchy of Guyenne. Next. 1364 until 1380, Charles V took over and Charles V took over and succeeded, reconquering almost the territory. Charles V is under the King of France, King John II, and that is his picture. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today I will be explaining about the 100 Years' War that started from 1415 until 1453. So the first battle is the Battle of Agincourt. The Battle of Agincourt occurred in 1415, and at that time the King of England. So at that time the current King of England, Henry V, he baited a larger number of French armies to attack his fortified position. At that time, he was held by the Dukes of Burgundy. So Burgundy is a French area that were loyal to England. So these Dukes of Burgundy, he aided him by using their skilled archer to attack the French. So the French was defeated and King Henry V took over other states in France such as Normandy, Paris and others. Next. So in 1420 is the Treaty of Troyes. So France and England, not long after the first battle, France and England came into a truce. So at that time, Henry V, the King of England, married Catherine of Valois. Catherine of Valois is the daughter of the current French king at that time, Charles VI. So the son of Charles VII, aka Dauphin, was inherited as he was claimed to be an illegitimate son. So the French king Charles VI has had a daughter, but he also had a son. But her son was claimed to be an illegitimate, so he was disinherited. The throne of France falls to Henry V, then later would be passed to his son. So the picture is actually Dauphin. Both Charles VI and Henry V died in 1422. So this leaves the infant of the Henry V and the Catherine of Valois to inherit the throne of both France and England. Dauphin and other French was not happy with the news, and Dauphin tried to start a war to get his throne. But unfortunately, he didn't get much support from the French nobles, and so he doesn't have enough military forces to attack. Next. So France that had been defeated from battles after another battles had become hopeless, and also at that time the political situation of France had worsened for every single day passed. Dauphin is desperate to get his throne back but didn't have enough supporters. Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc is actually a daughter of peasants in the Burgundy area in France. So Joan grew up hating England because she witnessed many French suffered because of that.